Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So my name is Vyacheslav Sushinsky, and I'm head of PLM, Production Planning and Manufacturing Department at LeverX Group company. And today we'll be talking about some interesting topic about manufacturing. And with me, Ruslan Aliyev, who will be presenting some technical part of the solution we are providing to our customers. And so we both together will try to cover some interesting topics of manufacturing, how we can manage all the process in manufacturing using the SAP solutions, using the LeverX Group experience and LeverX Group portfolio. But before we start, just a few words about LeverX Group. So LeverX Group I've been working since 2003. At the moment, we have almost 1,000 successful delivery projects around the world. We have offices in 14 countries, 14 offices in 10 countries. And the most important thing, I think, that LeverX Group is one of the top, is in the top 14 of global strategic suppliers of SAP. And also we have a status of golden partner of SAP. So that allows us just to use all the latest solutions delivered by SAP, sold by SAP. So, and of course we have an experience in almost all the topics, all the industries where SAP delivers their products. Okay, let's move on. And as I mentioned, today we'll be talking about manufacturing topic. Why this is important? I hope in case, because if you joined this call, this webinar, I think you are part of some manufacturing companies or some business related to manufacturing. So that's why we will be talking about how we can bring a new level of automation for manufacturing, the new level of visibility, how we can get the most cost-effective solution for manufacturing. So that's why we will be using Digital Manufacturing Cloud as an example of manufacturing solution. So this is the product delivered by SAP. So it was developed, it's still being developed, but at the moment it has some already kind of delivery tools or already working tools that we can use to deliver the project, to implement the project, to cover almost all the manufacturing processes. So a few words about an agenda. So we'll be highlighting some major topics of Digital Manufacturing Cloud. We'll be talking about, I would say, the difference between process industry and the discrete industries, and how we can handle all this kind of projects, all this kind of industries using one manufacturing execution system, because this is very important. And of course, these two industries have a lot of differences, and this is important that one solution could handle both of these. One more thing is the integration with ERP systems, because running the MES system without any ERP system, it's not so, I would say this is not the best practice. So usually we need to integrate with some master data, transactional data system anyway, and the integration with the machine layer, which is, I would say, this is a mandatory topic, because we need to integrate with the equipment at the shop floor. We need to integrate with other MES system, maybe external MES system. We need to integrate between different MES system, even like a middleware system that we can use DMC. So I would like to ask my colleague Ruslan to start the presentation of the solution itself. Just once again, it would be SAP Digital Manufacturing Cloud. Ruslan?
Thank you, Vyacheslav. And we will start our seminar. Okay, I start from product overview SAP the digital manufacturing cloud. SAP Digital Manufacturing Cloud is cloud-based manufacturing execution system, provide a relationship between production and business. It provides ability to access software from any web browser. DMC optimize manufacturing performance with integrated product execution, great visibility and analysis to meet high demands today's markets. You have different tools in DMC for create your own process, quality control using external intelligence and other things for help create your own manufacturing process in this system. On this slide, you can see a diagram linked between DMC and other system. You see DMC can connect with SAP S/4HANA Cloud and SAP EWM system with ERP system and other SAP product, and not only with SAP product, DMC have integration with as a customer application, but for that we need some development. For demonstration, we take a real case for our company, where we need to combine two types of production in one system. I will try to explain it to you. Let's imagine we are running in the medical company who produce the medical equipment. We have two product facilities. The first one is manufacturing medical equipment like optic fiber, drug injection tools, or something else. It's related to discrete manufacturing because we have some assembly operations, so on. But at the same time, we have the second manufacturing facility who produce some kind of drugs in different forms. And we start with active pharmaceutical ingredient synthesis, and then going to granulate, formulating, and packing. Here is of the drugs from production more related to process in manufacturing, process industry, and sorry, misclick. Main idea or main problem is how we can combine these pretty different industries in the one image solution, and this is answer how we can use DMC. And let me show you how can manage both plants in one DMC solution. We start from discrete variant, discrete options in DMC for our case, our example. And we before I show you what's the manufacturing process in DMC, I would like to talk about key features and benefits DMC. In the DMC, we can implement top floor and shop floor scenario. We can use utility interface, user interface for production operators, and transform to non-paper production. We can execute visual inspection task on manufacturing production with machine learning and something else. We can start. I want to start from main things in DMC, and for that, I start our medical company received a contract for the production of equipment, and users such as the sales department have already registered this information in ERP system. The planning department carry out of the planning, and after that, we start producing product. To produce a product, we need the following information: how much to produce, the component on which it's composed, operations to be performed, what equipment, and when it needs to be done. All this information is collected in the production order in DMC in object production order. The order is the main object in the DMC for collection of data from production and for production. Now I will show what an order in SAP DMC. In DMC, for example, we supervisor, and we want to find some kind of information about future order or current order, or maybe some history, and we can open this application in DMC. We see a list of orders and some kind of information on the first screen, and after click we can see details information about this order, all bill of material, sequence of operation, work center for execution, quantity of component, schedule start and end date, custom fields. If you need, you can add additional fields in order for integration with other system, or for saving some kind of information special for your company or for your business. You can change status for this order. You can set complete or start or as a type of status for showing steps of execution of this order. Now we know what and when we want to produce, and we can go to next step. Second. Next step. For next step, we will move to workplace. To produce a product, we want to assemble and packet this product. Let's assume that our production is divided into two areas: assembly and packing. Each zone has its own operators and operations in order. And by selecting the order of interest and click operator on work center or workplace, can open this application for assembly area. Just a second, I will start for assembly area and see all orders in sequence for assembly. And if click on records, system showing details of this order. Name of description for our product, quantity, order number, and SFC number. Now on the screen, showing steps for create new SFC number for order. Just a second, I will need explain what means SFC. SFC, it's a unique identificator representing a specific instance of a particular material being built during the manufacturing process. You can create not only one SFC for one order, and for every pieces for every examples of your product in order. You can create different SFC. For example, you need to produce or you want to produce 5 identical products, and for that you can split all quantity of orders on 5 SFC number, and every part have unique SFC number. And with this SFC work only one operator on or only one employee, and all information from DMC collect link it with this SFC number, with this unique SFC number, and all this information collect for one order. Operator in pod have button for start operation, mark operation like start, or complete. See work instruction for this operation. You can link work instruction with operation or with work center, and data collection. It's characteristic for operations. We have in DMC 3 types of data collection characteristic: one for text, one Boolean type, OK or not OK, and characteristic with tolerance. And in DMC you can set max and minimum tolerance. Operator can do assembly for component, select batch for take from warehouse, and as a steps for execute this production, for produce this product in this work center, in this workplace. First pod for the terminal, and in DMC we have different type of pod, and because in our company we can use not only terminal, we can use mobile device and other type of devices, and for that in DMC it's possible create a pod for mobile device, and you see on the screen variant pod for mobile. Sorry. No, it's not this video for mobile. And you see all information on one screen, a big button for use with touch screen devices, and you can switch between work instruction, data collection in one window without any movement. And now you see a variant for iPad mini, or for example iPad Air, and as a variant of use this pod on mobile device. From pod operator, in case of any emerges, creates the alerts, and alerts contain information about who create these alerts and description about of the problem. Alerts can be different type. For example, for maintenance, some information about unscheduled maintenance, or maybe some problem with quality, or maybe about component or resource, and we need some additional component from warehouse. And for your company, we can create different type of pods. For example, in our example, we have 2 operations, assembly and packing. But for complete this operation, we need, for example, we need data collection and quality control. And for that, for our company, we set up a different type of pod for a special employee, for example, for manager quality control and for operator who collect data collection. And for example, pod for for data collection can looks like on the screen with only with information needed for collect data without any additional button and additional steps for showing. On the screen, you see only SFC number, operation, and data collection characteristic. And I would like to show you how the end-to-end process look like in the DMC, starting from first operation and ending with some ending on the packing on as a work center, as an area. And we complete all operations for one work center, and after that, order transfer from this pod to other pod, and one operator didn't see this order in pod for assembly, but as operator on packing area, packing department sees this order. Now on the screen, all steps from starting from assembly and packing. Start first operation at component to our assembly component to our order, and after that you see system showing quantity. Required quantity and all quantity for this operation. Operator only select batch, click next step. And all this information during production sending to ERP system about batch for component, about good consumption or good issue, and information about status. All this information sending to ERP system in automatic mode. It's working without any additional development. And now we complete all steps on first work center and go to the next work center and do last operations. Final assembly and final test. And you see this this all process for one order in system. If we have only 2 work center and about 5 or 4 operations.
Thank you, Ruslan. Just let me quickly summarize the first part about the discrete manufacturing. So just the main key points, key figures. So regarding the user interface, I think you saw that there is a pod or product operator, production operator dashboards could be configured in the way just to suit any needs, any requirements related to the specific work center. So for example, for just a worker or on assembly line, it could be the one user interface with the working instructions, with the data collections and so on. For the quality control work centers, it could be just a data collection or step-by-step guide instructions without any goods receipt, goods issue sections and so on. So, and moreover, the interface could be adopted to any mobile device, whether this is the tablet, smartphone, and any other terminals with the barcode scanner. So it also could be, this interface could be adopted and reused for any kind of devices. And this is very important, especially for the operations. If one employee, one operator could manage different several work centers, of course, this is also possible with this mobile interface. Okay, and one more thing that I think you already saw that there are a lot of just interaction for the operator to the work center with the manufacturing system. This is because this is one of specific of the discrete industry that usually operator need to interact with the system. Of course, we can gather some parameters from the equipment. Of course, we can just do the assemble of components, do the automatic goods receipt in the background without any just manual entering the data. But anyway, for a lot of operations, we assume that for the discrete industry, operator need to somehow interact with the system. So that this is really important to have the very, I would say, not complex interface, very useful interface, very ergonomic interface. So this is, I would say, the most specific of the discrete. And so if you have any questions, you can put it to our chat and we will try to answer them at the end of our sessions. But now we are going to the next part of our presentation. This is the process industry. And here we'll try to explain the major differences between the discrete and process and how can it handle with the one DMC solution, how we can handle discrete and the process using one system. Ruslan?
Thank you, Vyacheslav. Okay. This is screen key benefits of process industry. It looks the same like discrete industry, and I think we can go. In our industry process, unlike in discrete process, the process itself is usually performed. It's like in the background by equipment and operator. It just controls the process in terms of any errors or kind of problems. And operator need only monitor situation and analyze some parameters from equipment, or sometimes add some additional information if have some problems with connection with equipment. That is why the main reason why the interface is more different between process and discrete manufacturing, and why in process manufacturing we don't need manual input big amount of information, and we start from pod for order for process industry. Operator in work center for process industry start from this pod. For example, it's mixing port, and see operations in this order. Mark start and see some work instruction for setup equipment. And I need to clarify, DMC have tools for integration pod with equipment, and for example, operator click on button start, and in this moment send information to shop floor level, and equipment start work, or operator click on button complete and equipment stops. And information, some kind of information collect from equipment in real time to pod, and operator need only check check this information and analyze. But if connection with equipment is lost, operator can, in manual mode, add some characteristics, some parameters, or some kind of information to order. For example, setup time or machine time or produced quantity and other type of information in order. And for process industry, we can create different batch for one order with different characteristic. We can create, it's possible, create good receive for this order during production. This order, not at the end. You see button for call creation batch and good receive for order. Import for process industry and operator fill quantity, click confirm, and this information sending to ERP system, and in ERP system created good receipt for this order, for this product. Next tools for process industry. It's post-production report. Most of the information is collected in real time, but instead would like to simply fill in the information one of week, or maybe at the end of the shift, or after order completed. And for this situation, for this case, DMC proposal use post-production report. And this report, you can select order for, add some information after production, and you can change some kind of information, or you can add additional confirmation for operation. I mean, add some time spending for production, or add quantity for component, or create a good receipt for our finished product. Or you can only analyze all this document for our order. And last point, last part for process industry, it's line monitor, because we discuss about operator need monitor situation in process industry and analyze all information from equipment. In this part, you see work center, and you can operator select work center, see current order, quantity of completed order, and analyze situation with scrap and good quantity. This part operator DMC proposal to view one of list of work centers, and second diagram of work center, and with market work center on screen on this diagram. And in our example, one area split on two different work center for mixing and for packing, and operator click what need in this time, and can switch to dashboard for this work center and analyze information about planned quantity and produced quantity, order number, planned start and end, and status for this order, and see quantity for this order. Okay. That's the main difference between production and process industry. It's and now in our medical company, it's very important to know what kind of component, batch, and what kind of characteristic saved for this product. And for that, DMC proposal analytics product history. In product history, we can find all information about batch, about component for this order, who produced when, all operations, time start and end, all operations, data collection, information about characteristic, data collection, non-conformance code, or some reason of scrap, log for work instruction, who, see, and when, and in DMC default print form for save this information in PDF and send to other user for share this information about this batch to the user, or customer can change this print form for custom print form. And network view showing information about component and quantity for component, how much for which operation and when this component using in this order. And one of the main things in product history is view. This is just a second. I will this type of view. In this view, you can analyze all, first analyze all history for this order and find some problems. For example, in our company, we have some types of scrap, and we need to analyze situation and reason why we have this scrap. And operator or quality manager open product history and analyze all step, all kind of information on every operation, and after that create a solution for fix this problem. And next point, our seminar, it's global insights. We need we need, for example, we quality manager or head of department, and we want to analyze situation on all plants. We see on world map our two plants for discrete and for process industry. On the top screen, we see different KPI. We can switch between this KPI, and if we find some problems in our KPIs, like in this example, we can click on our plant and open details information about this plant, analyze diagram, or we can, or operator or quality manager select product and analyze only for product all information and all diagram for every plant. In DMC, link it to different type of KPIs, and for all plants, showing only 4, and for plants for plant level, we showing as a type of KPI. Vyacheslav.
Thank you, Ruslan. And let me briefly summarize what we just showed to you. So at first, I would like to repeat this. There are major differences between process and discrete industries. So the process industry more we treat it like it's more automated industry, because less of manual efforts to be used, more kind of data integration with the shop floor, automatic data collection, some quality control using some modern technique like machine learning, quality control, and so on and so on. So that's why the interface for process industry is quite a bit different. Of course, it has this. Sometimes it may has the same parameters, the same control elements, just for the case for some exception for unexpected like events like work center breakdown or just component non-availability and so on. So the operator could just enter the data manually. So this is kind of another one more opportunity just to keep the data comprehensive and to record the data inside the system. The next topic is about visibility, and it's about the product history and product genealogy, because this is very important for the companies like pharmaceutical companies, and not only pharma companies, but for example, automotive industry, where each and every car has unique VIN number. So you can, and using DMC, you can easily track the full history of building of this particular car with this VIN number. So each and every operation, what kind of components were installed, from what batches. So in case you just got some reclamations, some claims from the customer for this specific car with this VIN number, you can easily drill down to the production history and identify who was the producer of such component that led to such kind of inconsistencies. So, and the last part, this is the analytics. And of course, product history and analytics is, I would say, this is the common part for both discrete and the process. And the best thing of analytics here, I see this is the possibility to control all your manufacturing network. In case you're running 2 plants, 3 plants, they're like located somewhere worldwide in different countries, you can see on one dashboard the major KPIs, and you can just take the KPIs you would like to track on, and in case you like see some red indicator, that means okay, something going wrong at this facility, you can drill down, you can see more detailed view, you can drill down up to specific product and up to specific work center and identify the reason of the problems. So why we could not start the orders on time or finish on time at this specific plant. So this is of course, this is very important. And I would say original equipment effectiveness. This is what we might heard previously, and this is one of the parameters that could be gathered and calculated by Digital Manufacturing Cloud. So if you have some questions, you can put to our chat, and we are moving next. We have one more topic to be discussed. Ruslan.
Thank you, Vyacheslav. And we start our last point, integration with as a system. I want to split possibility in production process design on 3 different parts. First, system integration and function extensibility. This part integration DMC with with different type of ERP system. DMC integrated with ERP system, but you can link DMC with your custom ERP system if you need. Next part, digital twin of manufacturing process. This part working with process in DMC It's mean, for example, operator every day collect information for the same information, but for different orders, and every time repeat and repeat input the same information. And for that, in DMC, we can create flow. We can create automation for collect this information. And if we add one button to port for operator can click only one button, and all this information save it for different orders or different characteristics.
Ruslan, sorry for interruption. Just let me add one more thing about digital twin, because one point, this is the automation of the process, and you can replace the routine operator jobs with some automation functions like data gathering and collection, data entrance, and so on and so on. But one more point, this is what is the digital twin? This is the virtual representation of the physical process, of the physical objects. And for example, you already saw this, like an example of the line monitor, when, for example, we can upload the picture of like a background, like our shop floor schema, or we can put the graphical objects like work centers, and we can make them interactive. For example, like a mobile car will be transferred from one work center to another with some components, so you can see this in mostly in near to real-time environment, so you can track how the production is executed. And so the elements on this kind of schema or map could be interactive, and you can get the information, real-time information from each and every object on this map. So this is the digital twin concept that of DMC could implement this concept in your manufacturing, your shop floor. Okay, thanks.
Yes, thank you, Vyacheslav. And last point, industrial automation. This point in production process designer help users create own process, and in this process, every step of this process linked with some scenario, and this scenario sending to equipment. For example, operator click start of operation, and our process sending information to equipment about start, and run some script, and after that robotic hand move from one place to other place, some piece of material, or maybe cutting or other type of operations. And this process can work and from equipment to DMC. For example, equipment stop or completes the operation and sending information to DMC, and in DMC in process analyze what kind of next step, or maybe sending information to operator, or maybe start next operation or start next script, and send this information to equipment.
Mm-hmm. I would like, sorry, Ruslan, I would like just to add a few examples of the industrial automation. Of course, this is the shop level integration with SCADA systems, with IoT sensors, with some equipment, data exchange. Just an example, you can send with the start button, you can send the program for CNC machine just to cut some detail, detail according to the parameters delivered with this program, and the vice versa. Once equipment complete its activities, so the back signal could be sent to DMC, and based on this signal, we understand that operation is completed, so we can do, for example, the goods receipt for the semi-finished product or for the finished product, if this is the detail, and we can, for example, do the goods postings like the consumption of the components, like the sheet metal or some other components. If you are talking about the assembly operations, we can do the automated consumption of the components. So operator do not need just to put any data manually. So, and this is very important. Okay. Thanks, Ruslan. Next.
Yes, thank you, Yaroslav. On this diagram or slides, more details information about industrial automation, and you see shop floor level, different protocol for connect DMC and equipment, and SAP Digital Manufacturing Cloud Edge. This component of DMC for collect information and sends this information to shop floor level. For example, if you have some problems with connection with the internet, Digital Manufacturing Cloud continue work without connect with DMC, collect information from shop floor level, sending information to shop floor level, and after fix problem with internet, with connection with DMC, send all information to DMC and receive information from the DMC. And sorry, and now I want to show you demonstration process desire. Sorry, on full screen. Process desire, and on the screen you see example of production process with some parallel operations or conditional and steps for steps in our process. For example, we see condition, and if we set its conditional first options, our process flow go to first variant, or if conditional second options go to the second way. And automatic, for example, collect information from equipment, or complete this operation if we don't need collect information from equipment. And in process desire, you can add operations without development. You can use user-friendly interface for add some additional steps, link between the steps, like diagram, and add some steps. And process desire, this example showing integration with Microsoft Teams. For our customer, we add a button, not button, we add a link with button for start operation with process. And this process sending information about start of operation to special Teams channel. This example integration DMC cloud with other type of cloud program, cloud service, and using this functionality, you can integrate with your own custom system without any problem, and maybe sometimes without any additional development. And last point, our webinar, it's manage alert. When I showed pod, I discussed about operator can create alert for sending some kind of information to other people and inform about some problems, maintenance, or maybe some problems with material or quality. And in monitor alerts, operator for alerts, or maybe supervisor analyze all alerts from different work center and can resend this alert to other people, not use DMC, sending by mail, or for this alert we was add a button for sending to Teams, and if operator click on sending to Teams, this information about this alerts will be sending to a special channel for responsible people for analyze this alert. For alert, in DMC, operator or supervisor can set status in process, new or complete for understanding status for these alerts and this problem, fix it or not, complete or not, or maybe status hold.
Yeah, and just an example of why it is very important to use the alerts. For example, you as a supervisor in the plant maintenance department, you can track whether any discrepancies, when any breakdowns happened in the shop floor. So you can get some alert notification, not only in DMC, but in any messenger, whether this is the Teams, Skype, or something else. And you can react immediately. For example, in case of breakdown, you can send the plant maintenance operators just to the shop floor, to the line, and to fix this breakdown very fast. So it's very important just to still continue our production process. The same thing might be not with the plant maintenance, but might be relevant with some especially in process industry, when the operator, because in process, as we discussed, it most automated processes happen in the process industry. So that's why operator just need to take a look on some parameters, on some notifications from equipment from the production lines, and he can also track using this alert tool. He can check whether some equipment works not correct, whether some parameters are out of tolerances. So he can react immediately, for example, temperature out of range or some pressure on the equipment. He can do the adjustments. For example, as it's also important in the plastic products production. For example, in case you have some plastic extrusion, you need to set up the temperature very precisely, right? So in this case, but the temperature may deviate from the reference value. So that's why it's very important just to get some notification in case by any reason temperature ran out from the range and you need to react immediately. So this is very important. And we can script this also, like in case the range of temperature out of thresholds, the equipment may stop immediately in like an automatic mode using the signal from DMC, because DMC, we can script this behavior and we can drive the equipment directly in DMC using these scripting capabilities. Okay, so I think we complete all the topics we would like to present you for today. And just let me briefly summarize the last part of our presentation. So the first thing, this is the integration. Of course, the integration with ERP class systems, when we can integrate with S/4HANA, we can integrate to SAP ERP, SAP ECC, we can integrate with non-SAP ERP systems. And this is very important. You can just still run your current ERP system and have the integration with digital manufacturing cloud. The next thing, this is the scripting. This is the integration with the machine layer, which is also a crucial topic for manufacturing, because a lot of modern equipment, I would say every type of just equipment has sensors, has some external interface and ability just to exchange the data with some industrial protocols. And of course, DMC supports the most of industrial protocols that used on the market, and we can easily integrate with any kind of equipment. And we also mentioned about alerts. This is also, I would say, the crucial part of the business of the manufacturing, because to get alert with DMC, it's way more easier than previously. You can set up the configuration of alerts for alerting for notifications, to notify the users with the most crucial events, with some breakdowns, with some not even breakdowns, with any kind of events that happened in the shop floor. So I hope that today's session was useful. And anyway, we are waiting for your questions. You can scan the QR code on the screen just to gather some additional information on the solution, to meet us, to send us some question at any time. We are ready to discuss, we're ready to answer. We are ready to present your custom demo if needed. We are ready to just maybe even to do some proof of concept, whether this solution suits your needs, your requirements, what are the benefits could be brought with this solution. And one more thing, so for tomorrow we'll be available in Vilnius at the About Technics event. So if you're located somewhere near, you can reach out to us directly on site and in live mode, and we can discuss all your questions both together. Also, we'll be presenting some part of today's presentation tomorrow on the live event in the Vilnius. So,
Vyacheslav, we have 2 questions.
Okay.
How much is integration with one type of equipment? And I can't understand what means type of how much integrations with type of equipment, but DMC have possibility to connect with a different type of equipment with different protocol, I think, without any problem.
Yeah,
not only one, not only 1, 2, or 5.
Let me briefly explain. So, as I mentioned, DMC supports almost all available industrial protocols. And in case your equipment supports this type of industrial protocol, there is no even any issue. And usually, this kind of integration may take. I would say the integration itself, it's kind of maybe 2 weeks, not more, right? But along with the integration, we need to deliver the DMC itself. We need to install DMC. We need to connect it to your ERP system. We need to do some basic customizing. So, and this kind of activities may take up to, for example, 2 months, because DMC is mostly like, we can treat it like the most out-of-the-box solution, because it's very user-friendly, and in terms of customizing, it also need less customizing than, for example, on-prem solutions like from SAP. This is an MII solution. Here, it's just more or less like out of the box. Would you like to add something about
I think maybe one main things for time for implementing it's if customer have SAP system, ERP system, for example, it would be better for connect with DMC and implement DMC, because some kind of data prepared in good format for DMC and for ERP. Because if you have your own custom system, maybe you need to do some optimization or create additional object in custom system for connect with DMC. But if you want to implement only DMC, it's possible. You can, without any ERP system, implement only DMC, create order in DMC, and manage all master data in DMC, and work with only with shop floor level without ERP.
Right. So, and I would add, so if we can, because we can implement digital manufacturing cloud step by step. We don't need just to implement it like a full scope solution. It allows us just to implement the core, like the execution part, the basics of it, then do some adjustments to it if needed, then do some integration. So just the basic part may take, the implementation may take, for example, up to 2 months, then the integration with equipment plus 1 month, then some customizing of KPIs, some analytics, some dashboards specific to your company. It also plus 1 month. So just let's say we can start with 2 months for implementation till, for example, 5 months. This will be like the full scope of solution. Of course, there might be the situations when you need some development to be done. And as soon as this is the cloud solution, it's kind of bit restricted in terms of development, but anyway, there is one more benefit in terms of the integration between the ERP system and the DMC. We can use so-called embedded data extension workbench. It's you don't even need to use some developer to do such kind of data extension. You can do that just by the consultants, and you can add any custom fields to the integration. This is also a nice thing that we can use, because we with the on-prem solution, it's quite more difficult to do such kind of extension. Yeah, and in case you need some additional even developments, I think in this case, yeah, it may take a bit more time, because we need just to develop new application, because Digital Manufacturing Cloud based on the new UI5 technology. So Fiori interface, if you heard about it, so like applications, you have the launch pod, so-called with predefined for each role. For example, operator for the discrete, operator for process industry, for example, even operator for some specific operation. So it's also possible just to configure this kind of stuff. And so, but if you need something very, very specific, I would say, you have very specific process which is not supported. So in this case, we can think about some workarounds, or we can think about some little development, how we can just handle this process, how we can cover this using the system capabilities, or with some light development. So anyway, if you have any questions, just some specific questions, if you need some more information about the solution, if you can just would like to see how your business would run using this solution, we are ready to show you the demo. We are ready to prepare the proof of concept with your specific data, using your master data, using your transactional data like orders, show you the integration between the systems, between the ERP system. We can show you the integration with the S/4HANA system, for example, which we have kind of several S/4HANA systems in our our sandboxes, our quality tenants. We have DMC, our DMC tenant pre-configured and maintained with a lot of demo content integrated with S/4HANA, so we can show the integration part as well, how this works. So just do not hesitate, reach out to us with this QR code, with the mail, deliver it on the screen. Okay, do we have any questions? Okay, colleagues, thank you for joining for today's webinar. Hope it was useful for you, and you can just think about this a bit later as well. Also, just reach out to us, and thank you for your attention. Thank you, Ruslan, for the great presentation. And I think we will see on the next webinars, maybe with some different topics. So, goodbye.
Thank you very much.